Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a haul video. And it's not often I do these anymore. I used to be a bit of a shopaholic, but not so much these days. But every year, in terms of my writing resources, I do a restock haul on Amazon and I pick up some basic things I use all the time. First up, we have pens. These are the Uniball Fine and they're specifically in purple. I write a lot in purple ink. I have these in black, green and pink. The pink is a bit too vibrant for my preference, which is why I don't go through it quite as often as like the black and the purple, and I'm not really a big fan of writing in green. I don't know why I picked them up in the first place, but I use them because I have them. But the purple one, I think this is like my third box of these. They come in packs of 6 and I think it's like £10. I did look at getting the larger box, but it doesn't cost, there's no savings is what I'm trying to say. The cost per pen is basically the same. So I pick up a pack of these once or twice a year and I use everything out of it. I love them. They do get misplaced often, which is why I tend to buy an extra pack once or twice a year, but then I sort of round them up and get pens finished off and things like that. So yeah, there is that. But then we have the notebooks, and I particularly buy 2 kinds of notebooks. I like to bulk buy. These ones are the wire-bound shorthand notebooks. I was originally buying the Q Connect ones, but this time around buying the 12-pack was rather expensive. These ones I think were like £11 for 12, which was really good. I'm not sure what particular brand these are from. I think they're Sylvine actually. Let me just bust it open. Yes, these are the Sylvine brand, which you might remember from like Jotters when you're at school. But yeah, they're perfect for on the go. I like to keep a notebook in my handbag, and often I will it's just for like brain dumping, info dumping, any idea or thoughts I have, any snippets that I want to remember. I suppose you might call it a commonplace notebook. Is that what people call them these days? But it's basically like my junk notebook. Everything and anything goes down. If I've long gotten over the myth, the lie that we tell ourselves that I'll remember it later, because I won't. And I write it all down. So I have loads of notebooks that are just full of stuff that I will come back to because it's written down. And once a year I replenish my spiral bound notebooks. I also like to replenish my dot grid notebooks. These are the ones that I use for my sort of story outlining, that I do all of my dashboards and outlining and plotting and character development. They all go into these dot grid notebooks. I'm not going to open this one quite yet. I still have a few left from my last order, but they are just dot grid notebooks, and I think there's like 108 pages, 90 sheets, but they're just like the perfect size, and I love writing on dot grid, and they're fun to decorate, they're easy to use, they're very durable, and yeah, so there's a pack of 12 of those that I pick up once a year. And the last sort of paper good thing that I got from Amazon specifically are record cards. I love record cards. These ones are the Sylvine brand. Again, I did have ones from Q Connect. I will These were the original record cards I picked up a long time ago, and I was plotting on these, but as you can see, they are massive. These are beasts. But I don't need anything, I don't need quite this big. What I do use these ones for is they tape in perfectly into these notebooks, so they don't go to waste. I do use them, I do enjoy them. But for what I needed, I was using these record cards, which I got from WH Smith. and they are again a lot smaller. They're quite teeny tiny, so I would find that I needed multiple of them for a single idea. So I got a larger size, and they came in like a pack of, like a set of 5, so there's 4 of them here. I've already opened a pack and started using them because they're just such an integral part of my planning development process. I use them for story planning, I use them for, again, note taking, idea keeping, scripting for videos, scripting for blog posts, just anything like I need to take an idea and develop it further. If I'm not out on the go, I will use a note card for that. Now we get into the woo-woo side of the haul. I like to do a lot of intention setting and visualization, and I do dabble in the manifestation side of things because the way I approach it and my understanding of it, I find it works. I know a lot of people will discredit it or think it's a load of hooey, but it's a concept that if you don't fully understand it, you can't fully put it into practice, and I might talk about this more in future videos if anybody's interested. I have recently been wearing a necklace and bracelet set. The necklace is still in my bathroom at the moment. This is the bracelet. This is hematite, and for my astrological sign, this is supposed to be a good grounding and protecting stone, and I did find that wearing it helped. I mean, it could all be psychosomatic, but then there's a lot of research that supports the properties, the metaphysical, is that the word I'm looking for? The extra properties that come from semi-precious stones, like the vibrations that they put out. Those are they're real. Whether or not they have the spiritual effects that, you know, they talk about in the spiritual communities, you know, that's I'm guessing is still up for debate, but I believe in it, and this is my channel, so make of that what you will. But I've really been enjoying my hematite, and I did have other crystals. I had little sort of pendant ones. I had this one, I had an obsidian, my clear crystal, my amethyst, and my clear quartz recently broke, which is sad, but there you are. But I really enjoy having my crystals, so what I did do is go onto Amazon and I picked up a set of raw crystals. So we have like tiger eye, citrine, green aventurine, there is rose quartz and lapis lazuli. There's so I have these nice new crystals that I'm looking forward to working with. I did also pick up a new set of tarot cards. I like to use these to help me with decision making, if anything else. I did have a set before, but I haven't seen them since we moved. I don't know where they are. So I picked up a new set, and this pattern was just kind of calling out to me. I just think it's really beautiful, and I love the purple and the, you know, the cosmos imagery, and it's just your classic sort of illustration. Nothing too fancy, and it comes with the, of course, the usual little guidebook so you know what you're pulling. And the last thing I got from Amazon was a box of candles, which, as you can see, I've already broken into. I have a stock of red pillar candles, which I use for abundance manifestation, and I'd heard green was also a good colour to use for abundance manifestation, wealth manifestation, and success. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get pillar candles. I quite like the aesthetic of pillar candles. These are like dinner candles, but obviously you just do the little drippy wax trick and they stand up if you don't have a candle holder. And yeah, I think they're lovely. You can still, you know, do the carvings and whatever else you want to do with them. And I have a box of 25 of them, and they were relatively inexpensive. I think this was, again, like maybe 10 or 11 pounds for 25 candles, so it'll definitely see me through. I always light my candles when I'm doing writing at home, when I'm specifically doing work tasks. It's one of those, like, again, psychosomatic focus tools. Whenever I light the candle, I'm focused on work. If it's not work time, the candle goes out. So these will last me a really long time. And that's the last of what I got from Amazon. I did also have a little trip to TK Maxx earlier in the week, and I picked up a few bits and bobs. First, which is the little bowl I showed you with my crystals in it. They're actually a set of 3. It was one of those things, and this is the candle that I was using. It's been dislodged. So it's a little set of 3 of these beautiful leaf bowls, and I'm very drawn to green. Green's very powerful colour tied to my astrological sign Taurus, and just these bowls in general, I was very drawn to them in TK Maxx. So I was like, you know what, these are coming home with me. And again, they were fairly inexpensive. They were like $7.99 for the set of 3, which I thought was a really good deal. And I'm already using them. They're coming in really handy. They're from a brand called Scandi Home. But yeah, I just think they're absolutely beautiful, and I love the shades of green that they have. And they're a good size for putting candles, making them into like money bowls, that kind of thing. And whilst I was also there, I picked up a book about lunar abundance, which I've heard about this before, and I've heard, obviously, with new moon rituals and full moon rituals, but I've also heard using the power of the moon and the influence of the moon through its cycle to help organize your creative life and your sort of career life, to sort of regulate your energies, so that when you're having dips in your flow and dips in your motivation, you're not going to be so harsh on yourself because it's being affected by the influence of the moon. And the last thing I got from TK Maxx were these 2 gorgeous notebooks. This one with all the astrological signs is one that I'm going to use for tracking anything that I do with the tarot, anything that I do with like lunar abundance, with manifestation. This is going to be the journal for that sort of thing. It is gorgeous. It was like $6.99, no, $5.99, but it was originally going to be £20, which is a lot. But it's a beautiful, very sturdy, cloth bound hardback journal. But yeah, it's quite big as well. It's got a lot of pages in it. It's from a company called Designworks Inc. Ink with a K, not Ink as in incorporated. The last thing I picked up with this notebook, it looks like a special edition of Wuthering Heights because it's just so beautifully bound, but it is actually a notebook with quotes from the novel on each page, and I thought it would be perfect for putting character profiles and collecting character aspects for dark romance, love interests. It just kind of goes with the whole vibe of Gothic romance, which is Wuthering Heights, and Heathcliff is like the king of dark romance love interests, isn't he? So that is everything that I've picked up that I want to share with you. A bunch of writing resource supplies and a bunch of woo-woo stuff, which if you're into, awesome. If you're not, it's fine, it's fine. Different strokes for different folks. So I'll try and link as much as I can in the info box, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.